Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Commute Talk. It's the last week here before the Christmas holiday. So, last couple of commutes, and then we got some 2 weeks off, I think. Pretty nice. So, today, Ireland writes in asking about balance, I suppose. So, with a big commitment like the one I'm making to the Serenity operating system, do I not worry that I'm going to miss out on other things in life, like relationships and nature and other activities, if I'm spending all of my free time on this one thing? And I mean, yeah, that's essentially the question, right? So thank you, Ireland, for asking about this. It's an important subject and one maybe I don't talk enough about. So the first thing is that I definitely don't pretend to be someone who has everything figured out or has this great balance between the things in my life, because I don't. And it's something I'm trying to figure out as I go. And I try to always stay relative in my comparisons. So I try to compare against myself in the past and do a little bit better than the past and do a little bit better than last month, last week, yesterday. And sometimes it's not always going in the right direction, and it's important to be honest about that and recognize when things are maybe, heading in the wrong direction. So when it comes to relationships and nature and things like that, I am married, so I'm not looking for relationships, but maybe I could spend more time in nature. It's a kind of a pissy time of year right now. It's really wet and rainy and damp and cold outside, so I don't really feel like I'm missing out, but in the summertime it is quite beautiful. And after winter comes spring, and but it's really up to me to drag my ass outside a bit. It's not unthinkable to go outside for half an hour a day, just for a walk or something. And I know that it makes me feel better, but honestly, it is something that I struggle to actually implement, because I just get really into what I'm doing with programming and forget to go outside. And that's not how I want to be, but it's how I end up often. And it's up to me to change that. And I don't know, like when it comes to relative thinking, it's very important to me to always keep in mind that I used to spend all my free time on like drinking or doing drugs, or things of that nature, and I've come a very long way from having that be my primary time sink in life. And I don't have that at all anymore. And to me, like whenever I feel the worst about what I'm doing or like how I'm spending my time, I always have to remember that my life today is drastically different from 2 years ago, which was just a complete hellhole of like really, really trashy behavior and just the worst of health possible. But it's good to think about that, because we can be very self-critical. I certainly get self-critical sometimes, and it's good to remember. If you've made some improvements, it's good to be honest about them and notice them. But I do feel sometimes that I do spend a lot of my time doing the same thing, and maybe I could diversify a little bit. At the same time, though, I'm not sure that I really want to diversify too much, and it's a bit difficult to admit this, but I kind of want to do programming, and like it's the thing that I like to do. And outside of maintaining a baseline life so that I have a job, a home, food, friends. Outside of that, I really mostly just want to do programming. And I think I'm okay with that, at least at the for the time being. And maybe in the future that would change, but I think this idea that you have to have a balance between some large number of things and you have to do them all equally, and otherwise you're being unhealthy or something, I don't really accept that as true. Now, we got the cops sneaking around here, trying to catch people speeding, I guess. But they're not going to get me because I'm going a little too slow, actually. Which always tends to happen when I'm talking, which is a nice benefit of talking to the camera. Don't run the risk of speeding. Anyway, I think balance it's important, but it's also a little bit overrated because you shouldn't put balance ahead of everything else any more than you should put something else ahead of everything else. You need balance for your balance as well. But I don't know, maybe I'm rationalizing because I really just want to do programming right now and I can't see clearly that I am over-investing in it. I don't know, it's difficult. I certainly hear from people around me that I spend a large amount of time programming occasionally, and it's something I take seriously, and it's just hard to engage with it, the idea that I need to do something else, because there's not much else that I really want to do right now. I don't know. It's difficult. Like I can't really reason my way to an answer one way or the other here. But this is just what I'm doing at the moment, I guess. And we'll see what happens in the future. Now, you mentioned the possibility of like making a living doing the Serenity operating system. For me, like, obviously that would be an amazing dream come true and something I would love to do, but it's not exactly something I'm counting on or expecting to happen. But if it ever did, that would be super cool, and it would definitely lend itself to different scheduling because I have a day job right now, and it's something that takes up a lot of my time. And if I could spend that time working on Serenity instead, that would be, handy. But realistically, I don't know. Like, if I'm to be honest, maybe I would end up spending 12 hours a day doing OS hacking videos instead. Probably I would sit on. Probably I would do just live stream all day or something. I don't know. But that's something that we will find out in the future, if that ever happens. But it would be really cool. But I don't take the support I already get. I don't take that for granted, and it's just astonishing the amount of financial support that this project is receiving already. And I don't want to get too excited about it, but it does excite me. We'll see. We'll definitely see where it goes. Right now, I'm just happy programming, and I try to regularly take account of how much time I'm spending, but lately I just get to the same conclusion every time that, yes, I'm spending a lot of time programming. Yes, I'm okay with that at the moment. Let's check again later. But like I was saying at the start, I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't pretend to have my life together. But I'm doing better than I did in the past, and I feel like I do a little bit better every day on many things, and the net improvement effect is the important thing to me at the moment. But the future is uncertain. Anyways, I guess this has been some very personal, introspective stuff. I hope I answered your question, and I certainly hope I didn't somehow like dodge it or like try to work my way around answering. I guess it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to talk about this because I'm not sure that I'm being honest with myself. I feel like I am, but it's hard to shake that feeling that I'm doing a lot of something and it might be bad for me, you know? So that's why I say that it's important to like always take account of that type of stuff and look at, is this really good? But current accounting says it's okay. Just stay on top of it. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about myself. But thank you for asking the question. And I think it's something that everyone should, ask themselves about occasionally, especially if they're deep into some project like I am, or deep into some hobby, or just doing a lot of something. It's good to think about: are you okay with that? And what kind of time frame are you okay with that on or in? Whatever preposition is appropriate for time frame. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for the question. Thanks for hanging out with me on the commute. The comments field below is always open for questions about anything. So hit me up if you want to talk about something. And other than that, see you next time. Bye.